Hello, welcome to Board Games with Niramas. I'm Joseph, I'm here with Drako. And today we're starting a new video series here where we'll be talking about Seven Wonders Duel, one of my favorite games of all time. And in this series we're going to do a top 7 of different things. We're going to start off, I feel it's fitting to start off with the actual wonders. Then we'll keep going with these videos. I hope you will enjoy them. We'll also do some strategy tips and some beginner tips for the game. And I will say that these videos will be about Seven Wonders Duel with the Agora and the Pantheon expansion. I will include everything in there. If you haven't played both of those expansions, you might feel a bit lost sometimes, not recognize some component or card and so on. But I really recommend you to go try those out if you have the opportunity. And you can go to boardgamearena.com and actually play Seven Wonders Duel or Seven Wonders Duel with the Agora expansion, the latest one that came last year. The Pantheon expansion is not there yet, at least, but I can really recommend you to try out Agora because it adds so much to the game. And as we keep going here, I will also ask you to please tell me in the comment section down here, what do you think about these selections of cards and so on that I have done? If you don't agree, or if you agree, let me know so that, we can have a fun discussion about how to play this game in the best way. All right, let's get going with my number 7 wonder. So, at number 7 here in the wonders comes the Hanging Gardens. So this is from the base game, and this has a 6 money gain when you build it, and you get an extra turn, and you get 3 points. And I think I like all of these, getting money and get an extra turn, because there's so many situations in this game where you go back and forth, taking cards. Just being able to break that back and forth is so good, and getting some money at the same time. And this one is not that expensive to build either. It's just, as you can see here, the cost there is not that much. There's just 4 components basically that you need for it. And next up here at number 6, this one is very similar. The Appian Way, again from the base game. This gives you 3 money and removes 3 money from your opponent, which is in some ways the same thing as you getting 6. Well, not really, but you also get an extra turn. You get 3 points. This one is a little bit more expensive, so it depends on what kind of resources you have available, but this one is really good. I really like how you, in some situations, you can see that your opponent is about to build one of his or her wonders, right? And then you can just break 3 of those coins there and just, stall them and make them have to sell a card or find money in other ways before they can go ahead with that. So really like the Appian Way. And at number 5, we have a new wonder from the Agora expansion, Nozzles. This one has a new cool feature that was introduced with the Agora expansion. So when you pick this one in the draft in the beginning, I think you should be playing with draft when you play this game. It's so good. Then you actually get to do an action right away. You get to place a cube in the Senate, an influence cube, and right away start the game with one of those benefits basically. And that could be really strong depending on how the Senate looks. Obviously, there's a lot of situations where picking one of those spots, getting the decree ability right away, and then working with that as you start playing the game can be really strong. Then when you build this one, you also get to place another cube and you get to move a cube. Moving cubes are, well, it's good for taking control and so on, but it's also good because some of these decrees, right, some of the spots in the Senate are hidden. So you might place a cube there and then just realize, well, that's not something that really fits me at all. And then you can move the cube right away. Also get 3 points for this one. It's not that expensive to build. I really like the Nozzles. Next up, we have a base game wonder, the Great Library. And this one here comes in at number 4. It's a bit expensive in the sense that you need 3 lumber to do this one. So this could take a little time to get going. And if you get this one at the draft in the beginning, you may want to make sure that your opponent doesn't get all the lumber, right? You need to get some lumber for yourself. Or if you can get the yellow card that lets you, always buy lumber for 1. So this gives you 4 points, but you also get to take 3 of the progress tokens that were not placed out on the board from the beginning of the game, and you get to choose one of them to put into play on your side. This is, of course, more of a gamble wonder, I would say. I mean, sometimes it really pays off. Sometimes it's more like, there's no really bad progress tokens, I would say. We're going to get to the progress tokens in another video, but overall, most of the time, at least one of those 3 will be doing you good. And in some cases, that could be the game determinant that you found that certain progress token at that time when you built this one. So I really like the Great Library. At number 3, we have one of the I think coolest effects in the game, the Mausoleum, again from the base game. This is 2 points when you build it, but most of all, it gives you the ability to just take any card from the discard pile and just put it into play. And this could be really strong for a military strategy. You want to hold on to the end game, discard a 3 military card maybe, and then just play, build this one, put that card into play, and maybe win that way. Also, it's one of my classic favorite strategy-wise with when I'm going for a science victory. Early on, maybe my opponent or myself, because I need the money, will discard one of those science cards, the green cards, but then it's gonna sit there in the discard pile until the end game or so, when I just build this one, pick up my 6th symbol maybe. There's so many good uses for the Mausoleum. Sometimes I even use it quite early. I build it quite early because it might be one of those good cards that are in there. I mean, especially with the Agora, again, it could be an Agora card that lets you build into the parliament like a senator or a conspirator. And yeah, it's so good. There's so many good uses for this effect that the Mausoleum has. And my number 2 used to be my number 1 before the Agora expansion showed up, spoiler alert. But I really love the Temple of Artemis. This is so good. Well, it's a 12 money gain and you get an extra turn. And it's not that expensive to build. It's just one of each of these here. So if you can get this built fairly early, then, maybe it costs you like 4 or 5 coins to build and then you make 12. And then you get an extra turn, so you can just grab whatever it is that you see there in the pyramid, in the drafting pyramid that you want to grab. I love these getting an extra turn cards, and this one is the one that gives you the most money when you're doing it as well. That's why you make it so high, and this is one I always try to grab if I can in that draft in the beginning of the game. So many good uses. You always need money in the game, especially if you play with the Pantheon expansion, of course, because then you want to buy those gods as well, right? And yeah, so really like the Temple of Artemis. And now let's head to number 1. So number 1, Iria Julia from the Agora expansion. Again, one of these cool new wonders that lets you do something as soon as you pick it up in the draft before you even built it. So you get to do a conspiracy action, basically. Take 2 conspiracy cards and pick one to keep. And then when you build this one, you will trigger one of those conspiracies. It doesn't have to be the one you picked in the beginning. You could have, gotten another one during the play. But it's so good you get to trigger, because normally with a conspiracy, if you're not familiar with those, you have to spend a whole turn taking a card from the pyramid, not selling it, not building a wonder with it. Instead, you prepare a conspiracy, and then on a future turn, you can trigger that conspiracy as a pre-action. But with this one, you can just build this, trigger it right away. You also get 6 coins, and you get an extra turn. So good. And oftentimes, you can combo this with, like, you basically trigger a conspiracy that lets you do something that then it's your turn again. And we'll talk more about the conspiracies in another video, but there's a bunch of them that can really combo well with this, and I think this is so good. It's not that cheap, but you can do it fairly soon, depending on what resources you get access to, but really like this one. This is my favorite wonder of 7 Wonders Duel. And that is the list, and this is gonna keep going like this. Fairly short videos where I just talk through a bit of my 7 of something. It's going to be progress token, it's going to be conspiracy cards, it's going to be the god from Pantheon, and there's also going to be more videos talking about strategy and beginner tips as well. But those are coming. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press the thumbs up, the like button, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great evening, morning, or whenever you're watching. Take care. Bye bye.
Do you want to keep this little dragon this happy all day long? Then like the video